For decades, Catherine O'Hara has occupied a rare place in popular culture, not as a loud celebrity constantly demanding attention, but as a steady presence whose work quietly embedded itself into our lives. She didn't chase fame. It seemed to find her anyway. Whether appearing in blockbuster films or intimate television moments, her performances carried an emotional intelligence that went far beyond comedy. Audiences laughed, yes, but they also recognized something deeply human beneath the humor. There was warmth, restraint, and a sense that she understood life's absurdity without mocking it. In an industry that often rewards noise over nuance, Catherine built a career on subtlety. She allowed characters to breathe, to stumble, to be flawed, and in doing so, she gave viewers permission to be imperfect too. Her power never came from spectacle. It came from truth, delivered gently, consistently, and with unmistakable grace. A childhood shaped by observation and wit, born into a large, lively family in Toronto, Catherine learned early that humor was both a language and a survival skill. In a home filled with competing voices, you had to be sharp to be heard and thoughtful to be remembered. That environment shaped her instincts as a performer long before she ever stepped onto a stage. She became an observer, someone who noticed the rhythms of conversation, the pauses between words, and the comedy hidden in everyday tension. These skills later defined her work, especially in improvisational spaces where listening mattered more than dominating. Unlike many performers who push themselves forward, Catherine learned when to step back, when to react, and when silence could speak louder than dialogue. Those early lessons in restraint and timing became the foundation of a career that would later be praised for its depth, intelligence, and emotional authenticity. Forged in the crucible of Second City, Catherine's formative years at Second City were not glamorous, but they were transformative. The environment was demanding, competitive, and overwhelmingly male, yet she carved out her place through adaptability rather than confrontation. She didn't try to outshout her peers, instead she outthought them. Sharing stages with future legends, she proved herself not as a novelty, but as an equal. Her gift was transformation. She could disappear into characters so fully that audiences forgot the performer behind them. That ability became her signature. She wasn't interested in being recognizable. She wanted to be believable. This period sharpened her discipline and reinforced her belief that comedy was serious work. Every gesture mattered. Every choice had weight. It was here that she learned to trust her instincts and commit completely, lessons that would carry through every chapter of her career, becoming a cultural constant. When Home Alone arrived, Catherine O'Hara didn't just play a character, she became a memory. Her portrayal of a frantic, loving, imperfect mother resonated across generations, embedding itself into holiday traditions worldwide. Yet what made the performance endure wasn't exaggeration, but sincerity. Beneath the panic and humor was genuine love, fear, and determination. It was recognizable, relatable, and deeply human. While the film became a seasonal ritual, Catherine remained remarkably grounded about its success. She never treated it as a defining limit, only one chapter in a much broader story. Fame, for her, was something to manage carefully rather than exploit. She continued choosing roles that challenged her, refusing to be boxed into a single identity. That restraint preserved her longevity and ensured that audiences would keep discovering new dimensions of her talent. The perfectionist. Behind the ease to viewers, Catherine's performances often looked effortless, but those who worked alongside her tell a different story. She was meticulous, deeply invested, and quietly demanding of herself. Comedy, in her view, was not casual. It was precise. She rehearsed endlessly, refined details others might overlook, and questioned choices until they felt emotionally true. This perfectionism wasn't rooted in ego, but in responsibility. She believed that if audiences trusted her with their time, she owed them her very best. That mindset came with its own pressures. Self-doubt lingered beneath the confidence audiences assumed she possessed. Yet she never let that uncertainty stop her. Instead, she used it as fuel, pushing herself to evolve rather than repeat. The result was a body of work that feels consistently thoughtful, never complacent, and always alive. Reinvention without reinvention. When Schitt's Creek introduced Moira Rose, the world witnessed something rare, a performer redefining herself without abandoning who she was. The character was bold, theatrical, and instantly iconic, yet grounded in emotional truth. Catherine didn't play Moira as a joke. She played her as a woman clinging to identity, dignity, and love amid loss. That balance made the character unforgettable. In her 60s, Catherine experienced a career renaissance that many never achieve, not because she chased relevance, but because she remained curious. She embraced change without desperation. Awards followed, but they felt secondary to the creative satisfaction she clearly found in the work. This phase of her career wasn't about proving anything. It was about expression, freedom, and trusting that authenticity would always find its audience. Privacy as a form of strength. In an industry driven by exposure, Catherine O'Hara chose discretion. She kept her personal life largely out of public view, not out of secrecy, but out of intention. She valued family, long friendships, and normalcy in a world that often discourages all three. This boundary setting wasn't always easy. It required saying no, stepping back, and resisting the pressure to be constantly visible. Yet it allowed her to sustain a career without burning out or losing herself along the way. Her silence was not absence, it was preservation. She understood that mystery could coexist with connection, and that audiences didn't need access to every detail to feel close to her work. In choosing privacy, she modeled a different way to exist in the spotlight, one rooted in self-respect rather than self-exposure. The weight of legacy and influence. Catherine's influence extends far beyond her filmography. She became a mentor figure, a steady presence for younger performers navigating unpredictable terrain. Her generosity was quiet, often unseen, but deeply felt by those who received it. She showed that longevity wasn't about constant reinvention or controversy, but about integrity and patience. In a culture that celebrates instant impact, she embodied lasting relevance. Her legacy isn't defined by headlines, but by the countless moments of joy, comfort, and recognition she gave audiences across decades. She reminded us that comedy could be kind, that intelligence could be playful, and that vulnerability could be powerful. The absence of scandal in her career isn't an omission, it's a statement. She proved that greatness doesn't require chaos to be compelling. What her story leaves us with, Catherine O'Hara's story, invites reflection, not mourning. It asks us to reconsider how we view artists whose work feels woven into our lives. We often assume permanence when something brings us comfort for long enough, forgetting that behind every performance is a human being, managing fatigue, doubt, and time. Her journey reminds us to appreciate presence while it exists, to listen more closely, and to value quiet excellence. She didn't demand our attention, she earned our trust, and that trust remains intact. Her laughter continues to echo, not because it was loud, but because it was honest. In the end, Catherine O'Hara doesn't need dramatic conclusions or myth-making. Her contribution speaks clearly on its own. She arrived, she gave generously, and she left us better than she found us.